Marcus Hayes here, Fight Hub TV, here with Miss Kathy Duva. Miss Duva, how are you?
I'm dandy. How are you?
On the heels after a big weekend this weekend, a victory over Canelo Alvarez, your fighter Dmitry Bivol pulled it off. You were probably one of the only people in the boxing world that called the fight. Tell us your reaction. What'd you think?
He did exactly what I expected he was going to do. The big surprise was that he got the decision in Vegas.
Which a lot of people, I was in the audience myself, you kind of heard there was that calm stillness after the bout ended, and you kind of looked around, and I think for the most part people did expect for there to be some home cooking with us being at the T-Mobile Arena, but not that much home cooking. It was a 115-113 victory for your fighter.
Boy, just barely. I remember this great quote from Marvin Hagler, as he famously said one day, "It's Vegas, what did you expect?"
Definitely.
But you know what, Dmitry was so dominant that they just couldn't take it. And he closed the show so clearly and convincingly. He didn't just win the last 3 rounds, he swept them. So kind of hard to take it from the guy if he doesn't give you the chance to do it.
Absolutely. Yes, he definitely, he swept the last couple of rounds. He had several points in the fight where he won at least 2 or 3 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
We haven't seen these things in the Canelo Alvarez fight.
No.
Exactly. Give us your insight into a rematch. There's been a lot of talk already kind of swirling around. Sounds like Canelo is almost going to demand a rematch at some point here. What are your thoughts on that?
I imagine he will. I've been lucky enough to be able to work with a few really great fighters in my career, so I've got some insight into how they think. You know, Pernell Whitaker and Holyfield and guys like that, and Lewis. And they, if you're a great fighter, you know, you can't sleep until you get another shot. Sergey Kovalev too. I begged him not to fight the rematch with Andre Ward. He was not going to be told that he could do anything else, you know. So I think Canelo's people will prevail on him to wait, but whether they do or not, Dmitry will be happy to fight him, and as he suggested, he could fight him at 168 and see if he can get all 4 of his belts.
And do you support him moving down to 68 to go ahead and challenge Canelo for the undisputed status at super middle?
Yeah, he is a 168 pounder. He moved up in weight for the opportunities at light heavy, if you'll recall. And if you look at his height and his reach, it's equal to a lot of the super middleweights that Canelo has fought. He's short. Canelo's short for a super middleweight. His problem is he can't get down to that weight that he used to be. You know, his ideal weight was middleweight. As he's moving up, he's getting taller guys with longer reach, but he's managed to deal with a whole bunch of them in a row until he got in front of this one. So you've got to give credit to Dmitry for what he did, but making 68 for him is just the difference between having to dry out for the weigh-in and not.
What made Dmitry Bivol so difficult for Canelo Alvarez on fight night in your estimation?
He had more foot speed, he had more hand speed, he had a perfect game plan, he had discipline. He executed that game plan exactly the way he was supposed to. I don't think he made a mistake. That's what it takes.
Definitely. They've got other business at 175 with the other 2 champions, Dmitry Bivol and Smith. Look like they're going to be getting together to see who can win on that side. If you were to choose, would you choose a rematch with Canelo or to go ahead for undisputed at 75 for Dmitry?
I'm a business person. I'm going to choose the rematch with Canelo. There's a lot more money in that, I'm not going to lie. You know, part of our job is to make sure these guys are wealthy by the time they're finished with their career. So if you know, the business person in me wants to see him make a lot of money. And you never know what can happen in boxing. You know, we could say, oh, well, we'll just wait and we'll fight Canelo later. But you never know. Best example, when we took the fight with Canelo with Sergey, we took it on very short notice. We got criticism for that.
Yeah.
Imagine if we had not taken it on short notice, because 3 months after that fight, there was a pandemic and the whole world shut down for 2 years. He would have never, ever gotten that fight, Sergey. When the opportunity presents itself, you take it. So it's really Canelo's decision. It's not ours. He has to decide if he wants the rematch right away or not.
As far as boxing goes, sometimes that rematch just doesn't go well, like we did see, unfortunately, with Kovalev versus Andre Ward. It just doesn't go well. Do you think that in somewhere in that camp, in that Canelo camp, that there may be somebody back there that's saying, let's just move along. Let's move along. Let's go ahead and lick our wounds for a little bit, get better, and then try to re-challenge, let some other stuff shake its way out.
I think, again, we're business people too, and okay, he's got a huge deal to fight Golovkin. He'll make more money to fight Golovkin than he will in this rematch, I'm sure, because Bivol's going to have to get paid this time. He didn't get paid last time. This time he gets paid too. So the economics of it, if you are handling Canelo's career, it makes more sense to go into the Golovkin fight first, and I understand that. So I suspect that's what he'll do, but I don't know for sure, and I guess we're all just going to have to wait and see.